Got it. Let's go.
Oh, you want to let the people filter in, or are they in there yet? Hold on, what's going on? Well, let's get the formalities out the way. Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, iTunes, Spotify, and that's it. I think I covered everybody. You got Wayne and Tim tonight. We're talking about the Sixers. Okay, it was a lot of people missing from the Al Horford wasn't playing for Boston.
You know, I just realized that. That's why B got off. That's why B got off. No Al Horford.
Embiid averages 23 points a game versus Horford.
He'll average 41.
I'll tell you where it makes a difference. It makes a difference in the fact that they couldn't put big bodies on him like that.
Nope.
Like they really just had the one big body to go up against him, and Embiid was handling them.
He handled. That's the thing. Last time the Al Horford, the B stopper didn't play. I forgot all about it.
That B stopper trash.
Yeah, he's the B stopper.
But it wasn't just Embiid though. Tobias came out, started strong. Tobias still at certain times. I get it when people say soft because at certain times he leaves a little bit to be desired. But that being said, he had a solid night tonight. Seth was balling. Seth was stroking the night.
He was.
He was stroking it. And really it was them three carrying him offensively.
It really was.
And you got to give Danny Green a little bit of props too, though. Even though he stunk it up all game. He definitely stunk it up offensively all game. But he came up with the steal at the end, and he hit that clutch three to seal the deal, even though he missed one.
I know, but he missed the one. It's like God gives it, guys take it away. There was it was a good, very good road win. We were struggling. We was down everybody. Everybody in the game wasn't around. I mean, we was missing Korkmaz. You know, everybody was missing Maxey, Korkmaz, bunch of other road Shake, Drummond. So we needed the starters to play, and they played very well. And they all played 40 minutes. I think the whole starting lineup for the most part played 40 minutes tonight. And they had to. In order for us to win this game, we needed every minute of the court time that they had out there.
Good thing they had to play last night.
I know. Can you imagine?
He wasn't doing that on no back-to-back. I don't care how motivated he was. He wasn't doing 40 minutes on the back-to-back.
And plus they didn't play. They haven't played since Thursday. So they had a long time to get rest and everything. They should have been well rested. This is a game where they should have won, and they did. They went on the road.
But see, we saying they should have won. Boston still had their key play. They didn't have Horford, but I mean, they had more. We had no point guard. Because I don't know who that dude was that they brought in and called up that was getting every shot punched.
Yeah,
I don't know who he was,
like a bug.
We had no point guard, and like Melo said, we had one bench point because our bench was Bassey came in and looked complete trash.
Yeah.
Tonight, I mean, I'm not saying he always looked that way, but tonight he looked horrible. So we needed Embiid, Toby, and Seth to give us everything they gave us tonight.
We sure did. But they did. Yeah, when I'm looking at the bench, we really only had it was really 1 point. I thought he was exaggerating. The bench only scored 1 point, and because in the first half, if you remember, I think only our three starters, Joel and what's the other boy name? Tobias and Seth, they had 49 of our first half points. I mean, they carried us the entire first half.
Think about that. Like we saying our bench only scored 1 point. What was our starting unit? Danny? Didn't Danny start it, right?
Yeah, I think it was Danny and Thibault. Danny was our starting point guard.
So Danny and Thibault was our other two starters.
Yeah.
and Danny shot 1 for 7 up until the end of the game and hit 1 for 8. So basically, our offense was those 3 players.
3 players. Because here it is. They was 46 of the 51 points that we scored in the first half was only scored by Tobias, Seth, and Joel. And I gotta give Joel his props. Joel closed out the game. He hit key baskets. I mean, we were down. We were trailing. We was down by 7 with less than 3 minutes left. And then I forget, Thibault hit a key 3-point shot, even though he didn't score a lot. But that 3-point shot that he hit was a key basket for us. And then it was a good thing he fouled out because he would have messed up. So I'm glad he did foul out. Then we just came in, and then Joel just took over.
You know, it was a play that I liked early in the game too. I don't know if you remember in the first quarter, Embiid caught it like on a high post, and he turned and looked, and Thibault's man was peeking in, and Thibault cut Embiid on the oop, and he caught it. And I want to see more stuff like that because Thibault.
I think that happened twice.
I think it did too. But that's what I'm saying. That kind of play, that's the kind of plays I've been wanting to see from Embiid. I actually used to want to see those kind of plays with. I thought we would see more of those type of plays with Ben Embiid, like last year when Doc came in. Like I was, because you used to see in with the Clippers, what's his name, DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin used to throw each other oops all the time. So I thought we would see more plays like that. But that being said, it was a nice little connection tonight a couple times.
Joel played real smart.
And the bench did play solid defense at times, but Boston made some dumb plays too. Boston did some dumb stuff to give us life. I ain't gonna hold you.
But we did some dumb things too. We turned the ball over like 12 times, 13 times in the second half. We took ahead of the ball in the first half, but the second half we turned the ball over. So there was some dumbness going around on both teams. But
how many turns did B had? I don't think B turned it over that much.
No, I think he had like 3 or 4 turnovers.
Did he? You sure? I was looking at the Boston thing. They were saying Embiid, her first turnover was like in the 4th. I didn't look at the stats though. Hey, Mark, which Embiid shot was I giddy on? Which one? Because I think he hit like 3 straight fadeaways in the corner. But you know,
I know Joel had 5 turnovers today.
5, okay.
All right. He's a turnover.
When the boy said he had 1 in the 5, I was like, did he? Like, no, but I mean, listen, this is why he shoots. And for everybody to say they want Embiid to go into the basket every time, they let these bulls do the ball freedom, whatever you want to be called now.
And his kids,
heck, bro. And these dudes complain about. I mean, the league complains, but Boston, one of them teams that play real physical and grimy and cry about every daggone call.
Especially Marcus Smart is the biggest cry baby in the world, but he's a. But you need bulls like him on your team though. You need like a grimy. He looked dirty. Like you need those type of bulls on your squad. We really don't have nobody like that. That's just going. And him and Embiid, it seems like they go at it. They have one big hard fight against each other every game. I don't know what it is, but they do.
but you know, funny because I try to read into how people
body language,
body language, and it looked like Bede and Smart was like real kind of Joe with each other tonight. Even though they still play like the one play when Embiid went and dove for the ball and dove on Smart, and then he got up and it was like showing dap and stuff. These boys think it's a trade somewhere along the line. I wouldn't be surprised if some kind of way Smart ends up on the Sixers.
No, it was. They used to really dislike each other. I think over the last couple of years, it became more of a healthy respect. But there was a lot of animosity between them two. They didn't like each other at all. I remember back early on, like a couple of years ago, they used to go at each other hard. But
they did.
I got to give Tobias's props too. Tobias played well. That first quarter, I think he had like 9 or 10 points in that first quarter. And Seth, all 3 of them had like really good first quarters. That first quarter, they all played well. They paced us. What I really liked about Joel is this game, he kept resetting. He didn't just keep backing down. He would give the ball back, and then they would give it back to him when he has his position down low. He played a lot of smart game today. I appreciated that about Joel.
But see, that's the point of them giving it back to him. And I agree with Dominic. But Dominic saying Embiid's been posting up more recently. I think Embiid has been posting up a lot this season. It's a lot of times they don't get him the ball in there. Honestly, it's a lot of times you'll see Embiid. And remember, I'm not saying remember like y'all don't know basketball, but you can't just camp in the paint. Like when we play rec ball and somebody just sit down in the paint all the time, like moving the ball along, you got to jump in and out that paint and reset yourself. So Embiid does get down there, but I don't think they really do a good job of getting the ball in there as much. And I was looking at the Boston broadcast, and they actually was talking about, I forget the numbers they used, but they was comparing the rest of the teams scoring or shooting when the main guy is being doubled. Like they compared Giannis when he gets doubled and how the rest of the team scores as opposed to the Sixers. And it was like the Bucks are way better, like saying how the role players hit those open shots, and the Sixers just hadn't been hitting those shots. But tonight, Seth Curry came out there shooting. They ran the pick and roll with B. They was running the pick and roll with B with everybody. And Seth was coming off for that shooting. Tobias came off, hit mid-range shots on it.
Yep.
That's how they got to run it with them.
I loved it. No ain't giving nothing. I hate to nitpick, but Isaiah Joe, I thought defensively he played well, but offensively he had a lot of opportunities. I think he played over 25 minutes today. I'm not sure, but I think it was over 25. And what did he finish with? I don't think he finished with anything that was significant.
I think he needs to see some shots going to bed. It's some kind of way they got to. I think some kind of way you got to get him some kind of breakaway dunk easy. Like he got to get his confidence going. Because we know he can shoot. We know he can shoot. He plays timid on offense a lot.
Yeah, he played 26 minutes and he had 1 point. So, like I said, but he was a plus 2 on the court. So it was like his defensively he played well. It's just that offensively he does need some easy baskets. I don't know if he just.
Hey, listen, y'all can say what y'all want. Embiid is my favorite player in the league. He plays for my team, and I like to see a big man do the things that he do. Do he have flaws? Absolutely. But the people that come on here and tell me trade Embiid and start all over. Oh, Embiid is trash. Embiid is this. He's a perennial. I ain't gonna say perennial because it's only been like the last 2 years, but he's been in MVP discussions because he is a dominant force. And just because he doesn't play like Shaq, he's not a Shaq player. He has that mid-range, and when he's in that mid-range, he could drip. He brings the ball up court, can attack the guy and finish down there. He is a special type player, but he does have flaws. I'm not going to sit there and act like he doesn't. He does have flaws, but he is definitely like a top player in the league.
Mark, I agree with you. Tobias is soft. I mean, did y'all see when he got hit in his head and he fell and like he needed stitches? He was concussed, needed stitches.
Come on, man. He just had COVID like a month.
Come on, man. Stop. And we had 3 more variants since he had that COVID, the first one he had. This boy need to chill out. Just play ball. He do. I'm like, come on, you rolling on the ground.
No, hey, Brandon, I don't necessarily think Isaiah Joe is going to be nothing great, but you mean to tell me, I look at the dude Boston had tonight that came off the bench, the short white guy that just was hitting everything. Whenever he got any kind of open space, he was hitting it. And I think that Isaiah Joe has a jump shot. If a dude has a jump shot, you should be able to hit an open shot in the NBA. So I'm not thinking Isaiah Joe is going to be this great all-star type player or on the brink of all-star, but he can be a solid role player because he can shoot. He just has to hit those open shots.
Hey, that's a big compliment. Herman said Embiid looked like prime Hakeem down the stretch. But he was balling.
Yeah, Toby to me looks for Toby's biggest problem is he really don't have no moves. Like he can, his mid range is nice. He has to get it on those type of plays where if he's against somebody smaller than him, he go in there, and once he square up, he can hit that shot. But it's like when he gets to the basket, like he just don't finish good around the basket. His mid range is nice. His 3 is inconsistent, but he don't finish around the basket. So you really need to run a lot more of those type of plays for him, where it's Embiid set that pick. And for him and Seth, when Embiid was setting a lot of their shots they was getting, it was Embiid setting that pick for him at the top of the key and them floating in there to mid-range and hitting it.
I never heard of Peyton Pritchard in my day of my life, but he was balling today for Boston. He was able to pace them, like at least be there for him, because Tatum was struggling early on, and but Jaylen Brown. Speaking of Jaylen Brown, I like his game. I really like his game. We can trade him.
Hey Phil, listen. If me and Tim gotta be the 2 Live crew, we gotta be the 2 Live crew. You know what I'm saying? You You can only lead a horse to the water. You can't make him drink. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and say like they just be failing.
They lazy.
They lazy. They do got stuff that they doing. Yeah, we all do.
They lazy. They ain't built like this.
But some we here for y'all, bro. Even y'all that hate on me and hate on Tim, we here for y'all. Listen, we got a thing going on. We don't get no money for this yet. Hopefully someday, but we don't get no money for this. But we don't here for the love of the Sixers, love of Philly sports, and to get a platform where we all just bust it up and talk.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, hit that like button, hit that like button. But yeah, the boy Schröder, I thought he was a little better than what for some reason he played his best years was in OKC, but I haven't seen anything.
I don't want to hear. Wait. So you wasn't along with Ethan when everybody was hyping Schröder the other time? So
I was, but I don't see nothing.
This is why I say y'all do get caught up in one game sometimes and get overhyped about saying a ball one time that's not on our team. Like we see the guys on our team.
But he was better. He was when he was in OKC, he was balling out in that when he was out there. He played well. So and
I
then
think he played better, wasn't he? I think he was at Atlanta or something before that. I think he played better there.
Yeah,
he was coming off the bench behind. Was it Westbrook or?
But that's why I think Westbrook was already gone. But that's why
CP3.
But and that's why left. That's why LA got him because they thought he was a good fit. But I don't see nothing. No. The games I'm watching, I haven't seen anything saying that he deserved that $80 million that he coughed up.
Hey, listen, Miz. I get what you're saying. I know you don't like Tobias, but if you don't think the points he did score and he led the team to rebounds, if you don't think that helped us to win, then you just hating on him because he did contribute to the win. Was he a closer? No. Embiid was our closer. Embiid and Seth was sealing the deal down the run. They did it. And we just talking about B's offense. We're not even talking about the defensive play like when Jaylen Brown thought he was going sky hook on him and B punched it. You know what I'm saying? We not talking about like when Schröder was trying to go in and B punched it. B was playing solid defense as he was playing both ways. Of course, he had like 4 or 5 days of rest. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got from him. I don't know what to expect on a day or two.
Yeah, if we played yesterday, it'd have been a whole different story.
Hey, Dominic got a question for you, Tim.
What'd you say?
Hey, Dominic got a question for you. Go ahead, the last on the pod on YouTube. What answer his question?
Yeah, I'm still taking Tatum over Embiid. Yep.
Yeah.
Because Embiid is great, but he only playing 65% of all the games. He's 65%. You're gonna get a great player. Tatum is there every day.
Yeah, Herb, his best years was in Atlanta. Schröder. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why Brown thought he was going to bring him in there and he was supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, being that dude coming off the bench, this, that, and other. Schröder's okay. I'm not saying that I wouldn't take him on my squad. You know what I'm saying, on the Sixers, but I don't think that he's the be-all savior, just like your boy Isaiah Thomas. He would be a nice addition to the team, but I don't think he would save the team.
Easy money. I know, like I said, and you saying the same thing. B was glad that Al Horford didn't play. It'd have been a totally different ball game.
How many points do it be to average in his career against Al Horford?
He wouldn't have got 41. We needed all 41 of his points. And he averaged.
You do know he's dropped some 35 and 36 point games out against Al Horford, right?
I don't know that. So
I do.
Know. You got to
look at Land of Basketball and Embiid versus Al Horford game by game, and it tells you. Al Horford used to get the better of him early in his career, and then in the last few years before Al Horford came to the Sixers, Embiid was picking up a lot better numbers.
We shall see. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Well,
you know what's funny though, because we talking about COVID. I see people talking about COVID. Remember last year when we had to play the game and they was like, "Oh, it don't matter. We could play it with however many people." Now all of a sudden they canceling games out because of COVID. They can't. Your boys get to cancel games when they start doing this.
Yeah, it's a little different when it was with us. That's crazy. And the same thing with the Eagles. They were supposed to cancel the games with the Eagles, but all of a sudden, because the Redskins or Washington get now, all of a sudden they're going to move it to Tuesday. But it was something I wanted to mention. Go ahead.
No, I'm looking at easy one. If 41 is better than 36, yeah, it is. It is more than 36. But we also see what Embiid can do if he goes in one-on-one against somebody.
Oh, yeah, this is what I want to say. And I think Doc may want to revisit this. His the way he brings Embiid in and out of the game. Usually he comes back late in the second quarter, but today he brought him in early, like around the 9-minute mark of the second quarter. He may want to revisit bringing him in a little earlier because he just, especially when he's cooking, I would bring him in a little earlier. To me, we bring him back too late. That's why he's playing 33 minutes a game. Go ahead.
What was different tonight from other nights?
Well, you know, we didn't have the people. That's why he had to bring him in a little early.
It wasn't that. We played 5 days ago. You talking about Embiid playing 40? Embiid is not playing 40 minutes in a game with a one night rest.
He would have kept his rotation if Drummond. If Drummond
would not have brought them back. Yeah, exactly. If them dudes was in there, he would have kept that road. He had to bring. Matter of fact, if Bassie was playing at least a little bit better, he probably would have let him ride out. But the game was getting out of control, and he had to bring Bede, Toby, and Seth back in the game.
But that was a good look. I like him playing them a little earlier, even if you have to bring in Drummond later on. But I think he sits him because he goes out around a 3 or 4 minute mark of the first quarter and don't come back until late into the second quarter. To me, I'm bringing B just in a little bit earlier because that's when the momentum usually shifts and everything. Then he got to come back and trying to get him to get the score back up and everything. I like him coming back around a 9-minute mark. I think that's a good idea.
I do too if he got the stamina for it. Hey, easy money. Yeah, it's 22 now. It was 23 before I think it dropped to 22 after that last game. Because what be at like 17 against him the last game, so I think it dropped down to 22. But before this season, it was 23.
So he averaged 22 points versus Al Horford. Today
but is that
he had 41.
But is that shutting them down? 22 points. So you telling me 22 points a game? How many points did Embiid average in the season?
Like 26.
He ain't averaging 26 this season. His points per game is down like 23, 22.
Okay. But even still,
all I'm saying is to say somebody is the Embiid stop. That's just like when Ruben Patterson was the Kobe stopper. He was because he had a couple good games against Kobe, and then Kobe light him up.
He was definitely the
Embiid stopper was Marc Gasol.
No, Al Horford be in his bag. Because it wasn't even hard for Embiid. Embiid was able to do whatever he wanted to do. I mean, he had he went coast to coast a couple times. He was resetting. I mean, Ennis was no challenge whistle.
The difference is when Al Horford is in there, they usually have both of them in there. They have two big bodies.
They don't usually play them both at the same time.
They play another big body. They put a couple big bodies in there. When they got their full roster, go back and look at how many times they send double teams at them with bigger bodies.
I don't know.
And they wear them down because you can rotate that. If you have more than one big man, you can rotate them in there to go at them over and over again. It's not just Embiid going against this one big body. You run big bodies at them.
All I know is Embiid looked good when Papa Bear wasn't there. All of a sudden, Embiid looked unstoppable.
Hey, Herm, that's what I'm saying. Gasol will forever be the Embiid stopper. He made it difficult for him in that playoff series. Like you said, he held him to 0 points in the regular season. Gasol, he made him cry. You know what I mean? And then try to console him. And Marc Gasol is the Embiid stopper. And I don't know what he could do now. He's a little bit older, but get that man. Now, if somebody want to tell me somebody's the Embiid stopper, Gasol is the Embiid stopper, not Al Horford.
They say Herb said Al is just as good historically as Gasol and Joel. Exactly.
No, he's not. How?
Yes, he is.
How?
It's the truth.
How?
Because you see, Wayne, I know you don't want to give
it. Go down and read the last 5 times they faced each other. And you're going to see that one, it's like 17, this one. Then you're going to see a couple 36s and 27s and Horford scoring like 13. Yeah.
We're not saying that Horford is just as prolific of a scorer as Embiid. What we're saying is when it comes to Embiid, Embiid's not going to average what he usually averages when he's playing, when he goes up against Horford. It's just not happening. And the game is harder.
Gasol had some help, but it wasn't like that. No, Gasol. I'm being honest. Listen, everybody know like I said, B is my favorite player. When I'm watching him go against Gasol, I see plenty of times where they just put Gasol and Gasol put that grown man strength on him and move him around, and he's tall. So I've seen that, but I see Al Horford gets a lot of help against Embiid. I'm not saying Horford don't ever go one-on-one, but Horford gets a lot of help. You have Tatum in them. They used to double down off a bend to come in and swipe at the ball, and they do a lot of that. And that's why B used to have a lot of turnovers against them. But against Horford, straight up, he's had some pretty good games against Horford.
What do you think is Boston's problem? Well, why are they a 500 basketball club? Because they have all the talent. I mean, you got Tatum, you got Jaylen Brown, you got two players that can get you 30 points on any given night. And then you got Marcus Smart, who's the grungy player that you need. Why can't they be in the upper echelon right now? I don't understand.
Okay, Queesh, you right. They did have Ibaka helping too. But your question about Boston, I think Boston is built wrong. And the reason I say I think they're built wrong is because I think Tatum and Brown is kind of like the similar offensive player. And then they would go out and they would get. I think the best thing Boston could have did was keep Rozier, and you have Rozier and Smart as a strong defensive backcourt. But I still think that I still think that Brown and Tatum are too much alike in their games and their way that they play. I think that you need a sturdy power forward to go along with one of those. If I was them, I would trade one of them. I would see which one is that we gonna build the best around, and I would trade one of them to bring another piece in to take their place. Maybe a great point guard or something if you can get one in.
I don't like giving up talent like that though. Like if I'm them, like I'm not trying to give up any talent.
But you got to give up something to get some. My thing is, see, this what I'm saying. That's like I don't mind trading anybody on the Sixers. I'm just like anybody except for Embiid, because I think you have that one player. If you have one player, that's your focal point of your team. So that's what I'm saying. To me, Boston has to figure out who that's going to be.
That's what I said. Maybe one of them have to like, I'm gonna be the Robin. I'll just defer and just play that role. Maybe that's the issue. Like one of them is not willing.
I honestly don't think either one of them is really good enough to be the Batman on a championship team.
You don't think Tatum is?
Nah, because I think Tatum gives you. I will give Tatum that, like he balls out in the playoffs and stuff, but I think sometimes Tatum. I think Tatum might have been cursed by working out with Kobe, because he has that Mamba mentality sometimes, and
he do.
Sometimes like Mike and Kobe had that same type mentality, but they had that. They was different. You know what I'm saying? You can have somebody's mindset, but sometimes it's just something different. Like you could think like they do, but if you don't have that thinking and all the skill sets that they do, because Kobe
he's athletically as gifted as Kobe.
You could say that, but guess what? He's not as quick as Kobe was. He wasn't as quick as Kobe. Kobe would hit you that pump fake. Kobe hit you with that fadeaway turnaround, or he could sit there, fake you, and drive and dunk.
I'm not gonna say you're wrong.
A little bit slower than Kobe. But that being said, too, because you have both of them in there, so it's kind of like one of them is like your power forward and one of them is your small forward, something like that. Now they playing on the perimeter, like you don't have neither one of them is like a big physical rebounding dude.
Yeah, it's something missing. They might be missing their CP3. Like Tatum might need a CP3 and to his Devin Booker. I think that may take it.
He get a CP3 with on that squad, just pick like a floor general type dude that can. That's what I say. I think Rozier could have been that dude for them. I thought Rozier was a better fit for them than Kemba was, or than Kyrie was, honestly.
Yeah, I just think it's weird because the talent is there, something is just missing. They said,
yeah, like Brandon Stokes said, they redundant. It's like you got like the same dudes. You got the same dude, and I think because they play how they play. Now I think Marcus Smart thinks he's like one of them, and Marcus Smart is a great defender. I would love to have a Marcus Smart on my squad.
I would too.
So I like the way I would love to have that type player on my squad, but that kind of boy you also got to keep in check. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how you got to do Draymond sometimes, like slow down, homie, slow down. He's a better shooter than Draymond, but you know, with dudes like that, you gotta be like, I'll pump your brakes. You know what I'm saying?
So we was fortunate though. We got away with this game with 1 point from the bench. I mean, that's impossible in the NBA. That don't happen. To literally get 1 point from the bench and you still come out with a win. You got to give going back to Embiid and Seth. Seth was in his bag too. He looked. They all look fresh. They all look like fresh. They all look like they haven't played since last Thursday. And you saw you saw what happened because they haven't played. They look fresh. They was able to get that win, and now they got off until this Thursday. So this is a good thing. So
remember, we was talking about that in the last couple games, how tired and slow they looked.
Yeah,
they looked like they had a little extra step.
Now, are you concerned about Maxey? Because he a young boy, and that contusion, he's not playing. So I'm.
But see, real quick, Queese. See, the problem, like you saying, Tatum and Brown are a younger, less defensive version of Kawhi and PG. But guess what? That's what make Kawhi and PG, because they two-way players, and they get like they shut down defenders, and then they can light you up. So that's what make them, up there different. That's what I'm saying. There's something missing with Tatum and Brown. It is, and I think they really need a floor general. They need somebody to take control of that team and be like, oh, like Tim said, they need a CP3 type player for that team.
Yeah, that'll take them. That'll take them to they will be the favorites if they got a true point guard that just want to make everybody better, like a floor general.
And that's like Herb said. See, and Herb, that's the other. We got different people saying what's the downside of either one of them, and I agree. Because I do think that Brown is a better all-around player. And I think that Tatum is like a big playmaking type player, but they don't have a balance. You know what I'm saying? And they both at any point in time would take an ill-advised shot or a dumb shot. And they just missing. Is it coaching that they missing? Maybe, but you already built. That's the problem. Same thing, and I'm going to mention the name, Ben. That's the problem when Bulls feel like they have arrived already, and they feel in their minds they're this great superstar, and that they're just going to do what they want to do.
And if they had been on that team, they really would be the favorites. Ben would take them to the whole nother level because defensively.
Yeah, but guess what? You're not giving Ben to them unless they're giving up one of them.
Exactly.
So that's my problem when people always talk about the Sixers just get rid of Toby, get rid of such and such. Like, if you bring a better player in, that can make the guys we got better, where you don't have to worry about them as much. That being said, if I could trade Toby and bring in a solid player, a player that's a number 2 caliber or a more consistent player, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Yeah, I'm always down to improve my team.
All right, before we get out of here, I do want to say congratulations to Isaiah Thomas for getting picked up by the Los Angeles Lakers. That's somebody who we could have had right now. His first game back, he had 19 points. I think the other day he had 13, but he didn't get a lot of shots in that game.
He had 13 to 32 minutes. Stop hyping. Because y'all was all hyping.
That was the second game.
Listen, because I'm going to tell y'all, and Ephraim was guilty of Ephraim and Tim. The first game, UCIT had 19 in the first game back. The second game, IT started off 9 minutes. UCIT, he got 9 points in 9 minutes. Finished the game with 13 points in 32 minutes. That being said, I would like to have him on this team.
He would have been perfect for this team.
But just stop trying to hype it like he would be the savior for this team.
I didn't say he would be the savior. I'm saying he would be he would be a difference maker. I'm sure he would give us more than that 1 point we got off the bench today. And the scrub boy that kept getting a shot 8 today, I'm sure he would have been better than him. That would have been a perfect pickup. I don't know what Morey was doing. You could have got him for 0 to nothing, begging.
You think you would have got the defense that you got from Danny? That you would get that from
I'm not saying give it to Danny. I'm just saying pick him up. Because of COVID, you can pick up.
Oh no, I agree with you. I do think that they should have picked him up. Mark asked about the guards they picked. Look, I don't even know who the bull was that they had out there playing backup point guard, but I cringed every time he went down the paint and got his shot punched by the dude that was playing him straight up.
But he tried.
He was like that was his son. You know how you doing? You out there playing with your kids or your little cousins or something, and he go and you let them go ahead and drive, and then they go up and it's like you smack. Like that's how the Bulls was treating him.
Listen, we had no bench help at all. We had no point guard. and then Embiid went in there and he dropped 41 points against Boston. So I'm proud of the way they played today. I have no. This was a good one. This was an all-around good win, a good quality win. So congratulations to the Sixers. You got any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
No, I just think it was a good quality win. I think that Embiid, and Seth in particular, and Tobias, they did what we needed. We needed them three to play like a big three tonight.
They did.
I'm not saying tonight they played like a big three, and we needed it because we had no bench.
I agree with that. Oh yeah, and the boy Kyrie is back. Kyrie is back, at least for road games. But congratulations to Kyrie, even though he went and got the so when he got around the team, he got sick. But I'm glad.
I got a theory. I don't think he's sick.
Oh yeah.
I think that's just what they want to put out there, so then they could come out and be like, "Oh, well, see, he don't need the vaccine because he had it, so he's immune now. He can't get the vaccine." Watch.
Unless he wind up getting it. I don't think they did that. Yeah, anyway, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you new.
You always shut it down earlier. People love it. We got conversation going. You saw Tim on like 3 times. Tim sleepy. I'm on vacation, so I got time.
I know. I do not be shutting it down early. Well, listen, first of all, we're gonna be back tomorrow after the Eagles game. Hopefully, we're gonna take care of business against the Philadelphia.
I'll see if I'm up to come and talk about that trash.
You be on. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You're listening to you was watching the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. We out.
Peace.